Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of That's All Funny, episode number 883. Yeah, it's another episode. I was just here chilling. It's another day. I'm recording early this morning because I was doing some other recordings yesterday, editing and editing, right? Quote unquote editing. And yeah, time got away from me and I just didn't get to record, so I'm recording this morning. Man, I was fucking tired yesterday. I knocked out. Uh, I was a sweepy, but yeah, just here chilling, trying to pump my jaw. Oh, 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 make them say oh, na. Otherwise, yeah, just another day of just chilling, enjoying my neck. Ooh, ooh, that popped a little bit. Yeah. I was looking at the news. Really, not a lot of news to report on. So I was looking at my computer, and I have a file on here that I typed up The Walking Dead season 2. I guess I was gonna like do a review of it, and I typed up a recap review, stuff like that of it. I'm probably gonna read it out, read it off to y'all because I thought it was pretty funny. If you remember Walking Dead season 2, or if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert. But yeah, no, I was just like, oh yeah, I typed this up. I should probably use it. Unless I don't think I've read it before. I don't think so. Oh my god, that's delicious. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've read this before. I don't think I have. Let me see. Let me take a look at my old podcast episodes and see if a Walking Dead season 2 comes out. I don't think so. I highly doubt that I read this out to y'all. Hold on, let me see. No, I didn't read it. No, I didn't do a Walking Dead season 2. So got my throat. Let me get one more sip in and then I'll start reading it. All right, got my throat nice and moist. Let's take a look at this Walking Dead season 2. So season 2 of The Walking Dead. There we go. So I remember people really being really polarizing with this season came out because of how slow it went and how they were just searching for Sophia through half the season pretty much. So if you don't remember, they're driving down the highway and get stuck in sort of a highway car graveyard. Then a herd of zombies come walking through. And they all hide under the cars. T Dog cuts his left arm pretty rowdy and he's bleeding a lot. And Sophia's kind of grabbed by a couple of walkers and they ran after her into the wood. And Rick follows, trying to help Sophia while making too much noise to bring the herd back. Then the whole team starts searching for Sophia. Rick and Shane are hanging with Carl and they see a CGI deer. And when they are letting Carl reach for the NPC deer, he gets shot by a hunter who's hunting the deer. So the fat hunter dude named Otis is telling Rick where to take Carl, who just got shot. They end up at a farm where a doctor named Herschel is able to stabilize him, but he needs more supplies to save his life. Otis and Shane volunteer to go and are able to grab everything from a school, but are overrun by the zombies. And Shane decides to do his heel shit and shoots Otis in the leg to leave him as bait and is able to escape. Shane's got to shave his head for when Otis tried to yank his hair out and then makes him look even more like a heel, and he keeps his anti hero arc going. Daryl, meanwhile, is going around himself looking for Sophia, and Carol is noticing and think it's real sweet of him. Herschel successfully heals Carl, and he says they can stay on the farm until they find the little girl Sophia. But Rick likes the stability there on the farm because they've got hot showers. I swear there's always a hot shower scene, so he convinces Herschel if they could stay if they follow his old man rules. But also there's a weird B side story where there's his fat bloated walker in the well. They are almost well that they almost lose Glenn trying to get out, and it ends up just getting torn in half and ruining that water well. And Glenn, the Korean, and one of Herschel's daughters, Maggie, go to the town pharmacy to grab some shit, find some condoms, and end up getting it on. We see some great side boob here for Maggie. Oh, also they grab Rick's wife Lori a pregnancy test. She ends up finding out she's pregnant, not telling anyone, but also not knowing if it's Rick's or Shane's baby. That's some Maury shit right there. Daryl keeps searching for Sophia, which we're at some point she falls off a horse down into some water, gets one of his arrows stuck in him and starts hallucinating. Seeing Merle talk shit about him, but also help pep him up and find the strength to stay alive being rocked out there. Oh, and he cuts Walker's ears off and wears them like a necklace. Rick and Shane are arguing like bros, and if there's really any point to keep looking for Sophia, if there's any point looking to keep Sophia with everyone getting hurt, and Glenn gives Maggie a note that says, "Ever do it in the barn?" And when he realizes to the barn, and when he goes to the barn with his heart on and a blanket, he realizes that walkers are being kept alive at the barn. And Maggie's like, "Please don't tell anyone." I swear Glenn is like the Rat King. He just keeps so many fucking secrets, I swear. I know somewhere here at some point, Andrea and Shane go to some cul-de-sac and fuck each other and then come back with no news. Glenn and Dell approach Herschel about the walkers in the barn, but he believes they're just sick and can be cured once, I don't know, things get better, I guess. Rick finds out Lori is pregnant, and Rick and Shane keep getting more and more mad at each other. Glenn then tells everybody that the barn is full of walkers, and Rick says he'll talk to Herschel about it. Herschel is like, "Look, you help me capture and keep these walkers, and I'll let y'all stay. No killing walkers." When everyone see how much of a pussy Rick looks like for capturing them, they go to the barn, open it up, and start shooting the shit out of every walker that comes out, headshot after headshot. Then the last walker that comes out is Sophia, and the music is super sad, and everyone is emotional. And Rick gets his big ass gun and goes and shoots the little girl point blank. Herschel tells everyone to leave his farm, so they say they will after they bury their loved ones and burn the rest. One of Herschel's other daughter goes into shock, and no one can find Herschel. So Glenn and Rick go to town and find him drinking in a saloon. After a talk with Herschel about the world being shit, blah blah blah, they are about to leave when two random dudes pop up that sound like they have good intentions but actually are bad guys. Rick shoots them before they can do bad things. More dudes arrive at the town bar where Rick, Glenn, and Herschel are at, and they get overrun by walkers, except one kid who jumps off of a roof and his leg gets impaled into a fence. Rick feels guilty for leaving this dude behind, even though he would just shoot all these other dudes, and they pull him pretty rowdy off the fence and bring him back to the barn, but blindfolded. Shane is noticeably becoming more and more unstable. They are able to heal the dude they took Mercy and hostage, and Rick and Shane drive him out by some school in order to leave him there to give him a chance at survival. But they all get overrun by zombies again, and Shane and Rick get into a fight. And when it looks like Rick is going to leave Shane behind, they come back and he saves his friend. Yeehaw! And also, the youngest of Herschel's daughters tries to kill herself, but she doesn't, so that's good, I guess. Still having that Mercy guy in custody, everyone is trying to vote to see if he lives or dies. And Dell, the old man in the bucket hat, is the only one trying to say, "Hey, we're not monsters. Let's keep this dude alive. We don't need to lose our humanity." Blah blah blah. During this time, Carl grabs a gun from Daryl's Nazi cycle and he goes out to the woods. La 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 la, and sees a walker and tries to kill it, but he gets too chicken shit, runs off from it. Rick decides he's gonna kill their prisoner, but dumbass Carl comes to see that Rick has a change of heart and doesn't do it. At the same time, Dale, the bucket hat man, goes out for a walk really far out for some reason in the dark, and a walker, which happens to be the same one that Carl didn't kill earlier, rips open his guts like nothing, and he's there all screaming and everyone like he's screaming at everyone like he needs help, but they just have Daryl shoot him in the head in an act of mercy. The next day after they bury Dale, they decide to spare the prisoner's life, but bad guy Shane secretly takes him to the woods and breaks the dude's neck, and uh the runs his own face into a tree, and then runs his own face into a tree to make it look like he got stuck up on by that dude and sucker punched. When Shane goes back and lets the group know, he and Rick go search while Daryl and Glenn search a different area. They find the zombie prisoner, but no indications he was bit or scratched. At the other end, Shane's plan was to get Rick alone so he could kill him and make it look like an accident. Rick tries talking sense into his best bud, but Shane goes for his gun and Rick is forced to stab him to death. Rick then sees that Carl saw everything and he's trying to walk up to Carl to explain, but Carl aims the gun at his dad. His father is trying to calm him down, but unknowingly behind him, Shane has come back to life as a zombie, and Carl shoots Shane in the head. All this gunfire attracts rowdy hordes of walkers from the city towards the farm. The farm is overtaken by the walkers, and they all have to go their own separate ways. A couple of unimportant people die, like two of Herschel's people that weren't his daughters, and everyone escapes except Andrea, who they leave there with a bag of weapons, and she has to run through the woods on foot. When Rick and all of them meet up back at the highway when they first lost Sophia, they are all grateful, but not sure of where to go now to be safe. Andrea is still running in the forest, getting tired, when a walker gets to jump on her. The zombie is stabbed by a mysterious hooded person who has two armless walker pets and wields a katana. Then I believe as Rick is taking charge and saying he's going to do what he has to do to keep everyone safe, you see a silhouette of the prison that they're going to end up at the next season. So yeah, that's that's uh that's what happens. That was a season 2 recap review. I don't know. I liked season 2. I think it's the well, I don't know who's texting me. I think it's like a good season. I think it's great. I don't know why people say it's too slow, but I think it's a great season of The Walking Dead too. If you haven't seen The Walking Dead, I would see season 1. Season 1 is real quick. It's like a few episodes. And then season 2 is really long, but it's just really good. It drags out, but it really tells the emotional story of the people and how the links that they are to do the right thing and be the right people. But yeah, no, that's season 2 of The Walking Dead, guys. That's all funny. Oh, who's still texting me? Who's calling me? Oh, thank you guys. That's all funny. I I I I gotta take this call. Where's the music? That's all funny. I want to thank you for listening to the podcast. That's all funny. Available anywhere podcast available. Just search That's All Funny. New podcast from Buddy Gabe. Oh, that's all kayfabe. We're talking about wrestling. Check that out. That's all kayfabe anywhere podcasts are available on Mondays. That's all kayfabe. This show with the wonderful Gonzalez called Heroes Mansala. We're talking about a movie or TV show. We watch and then play a game. She's great. I'm a piece of shit, but you should check it out. I'm not like what's his name? Uh I'm not like Shane. I'm not Shane, so check that out. Tits and Arrows Mansala anywhere podcasts are available. Just check that out. On Tuesdays. That's on Tuesdays. We listen to Tits and Arrows, Women Salad, and Wear Pink on Tuesdays. Check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/at Lorenzo Arreola. Check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Lorenzo Arreola. And thank you. Yeah, no, thank you for listening. Thank you to everyone for liking, subscribing, rating, reviewing, for sharing and caring, taking care of business, taking care of business. And don't you know, my mama cry, or baby, not Chicago died. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Thank you, my Patreon subscribers. Like, subscribe, rate, review. Take care. Bye.